Hi, everyone. This is supporting the needs of all learners in a remote classroom. Thank you so much for showing up, for engaging in this session, and taking the time to push yourself. This is the 11th and final session in our first distance learning PD module, Preparing Your Remote Classroom. If you are curious about how the content works or how it all fits together and builds on each other, feel free to pause here and read the distance learning course introduction document. Otherwise, let's jump in. This slide represents our priorities across all of the Department of Education. These professional development trainings are in alignment with our educators' priority. We hope you feel supported by using this resource. The objectives for this session are that we will identify big picture and lesson preparation action steps to support all learners, and we will choose 4 specific actions to focus on and explain how those actions will impact remote classrooms from day one. And here is our agenda for this time. Take a couple of seconds and read through it. As always, in these sessions, we want to ensure that these resources support teacher growth and development, and we use the team rubric as the anchor for that. This particular session is actually aligned to 3 different indicators on the team rubric. The first is teacher knowledge of students. Take a couple of seconds and read the 2 descriptors that fit here. The second indicator this session is aligned to is the expectations indicator. Go ahead and read the 3 descriptors that align here. And our third indicator is the instructional plans indicator. We have 3 descriptors that align here. Go ahead and read through these so you have the full picture of every descriptor that this session is driving towards. Okay, we talked about Rita Pierson's amazing TED Talk in our Building Relationships session. Here is a specific quote from it. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists they become the best they can be. I want you to pause the video and take 1 minute to read this quote and think or write about what it means to you. Go ahead and do that now. Something that stands out to me every time I read this quote is that she says every child. She doesn't just say children. She could have chosen the start of this very differently, but specifically she said every child. And in our time together today, we're going to talk through some strategies to ensure that we have a plan for just that every single child is learning. And of course, it takes us right to this phrase we've seen in a couple of sessions: all students will learn. We've discussed how it's our job as teachers to ensure that every single student learns regardless of the challenges they face. And in this session, we'll add some more tools and resources for how to make that a reality. This content is particularly relevant for our most vulnerable students. And here is a reminder of what we mean when we say vulnerable students. Vulnerable students are most likely those students who are experiencing one of the challenges listed here. Take a second and read through this list now. For more information on vulnerable students, you can go to our Access and Opportunity Toolkit, which can be found if you pause the video and scroll down in the tool. Let's jump into our key point. We can take specific big picture planning actions and specific lesson preparation actions to support all learners in our remote classroom. These actions will help ensure that as you launch your remote classroom, you are making sure all students learn. First, you're going to spend time exploring the big picture actions. In just a second, you'll pause the video so you can read, reflect, and plan. To do that, you will need to download Resource 1, Big Picture Actions to Take. And you're going to answer the question, which 2 strategies stand out most as things you need to commit to doing before day 1? Go ahead, pause the video, and dig in now. Next up, it's time to dig in and explore the lesson preparation specific actions. Just like the last one, you'll pause the video and take time to read, reflect, and plan. You'll continue to use Resource 2, and you will answer the same question, which 2 strategies do you want to prioritize to ensure all students have access to the content? Go ahead, press pause, and dig into the learning now. Okay, so you prioritized 2 big picture actions and 2 lesson preparation actions. Now I want you to take it a step further and write out to yourself, how will these 4 prioritized actions impact your remote classroom from day 1? Press pause and do that now. As we close out, let's take a minute to review what we've accomplished here. We identified big picture and lesson preparation actions to support all learners, and you chose 4 specific actions to commit to that you know will impact your remote classrooms on day 1. Applying these actions to your work will ensure that you are supporting all learners well. Thank you so much for your participation in this session, and especially for your commitment to every single learner in your classroom. This kind of work will make such a difference.